Alright, we are doing another chess analysis video, and this time I play white, so let's have a look. E4, typical. C6, so the idea with C6 is they want to push D5. So I like to prevent this by playing C4. This is quite a long game, 70 moves, so I'm gonna not do deeper analysis on every single move. I'll just go through it decently quickly. So I do that. Then takes. Develop my knight. Develop my pawn. Develop my knight. A6. I guess he doesn't want check. I don't know. Develop my bishop, which is slightly wrong, it says. The best move is G3. Interesting. I would never play that. I don't understand the point of that. That's interesting. I guess the computer wants me to fianchetto my bishop and then castle. That's the only thing I can think of. Anyway, bishop there, attacking my knight. I was playing pretty quickly this game, so there's gonna be some inaccuracies. That's why it's only 75% accuracy. We both played at the same accuracy, but he ended up making a major mistake at the end. Okay, so this is a typical tactic that sometimes I go for if I'm playing quickly, where you hope they castle, and then you take the knight, and they take your bishop back, and you play checkmate. Which obviously with high rated plays that doesn't work. And he saw that, so then we trade bishops, develop his knight, castle, develop pinning my knight to my queen, so I move the king. Okay, kicking my bishop. I should have probably moved this way rather than back. Takes. This is a mistake. I made a mistake here with this. It says it's the best move, but I think it's a mistake because I can't take back with my knight because this rook is pitting my knight to my queen. So once he takes like this, I can't take back naturally with my knight. So I sacrifice my rook, which is not a good move at all. I should have just accepted that I lost the pawn and taken the bishop. But rook there is good because now the bishop is pinned to the king because this bishop is attacking, so he has to play something like this, which he does. And yeah, that's a mistake. He should have played. Actually, his best move was not that. It's this, just kicking the bishop out. Now I have a check. Great move. Take the pawn for free, attacking the bishop. It says it's wrong, but it's fine. The best move is this. Obviously threatens this. When I say this, it's a fork. If the knight gets there, you're attacking the king and the queen at the same time. Okay, I just take the bishop. So I'm winning now. White is winning. And now I make a mistake. Not yet. Yeah, that's a mistake. But that's not the major mistake. The major mistake is in this position. I can't take this rook. If I take the rook, look at the bar. Look at this bar. It's gonna say that white is winning because he has mate in one. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there you go. Okay, he was taking some time to think. Um, yeah, you can't take this knight because queen d1 checkmate. The king can't move. The king cannot move. So that is terrible. Technically, it's an equal position after this, but that's a bad mistake. Anyway, once he takes, I play rook c1, hoping to play rook c8, winning the queen. Because this knight is defending the rook. It would be defending the rook. and then he would take my rook, and then I would take his queen. And it's winning because my rook would be pinning the queen to the king. So he doesn't fall for it, he just takes my knight. So now it's equal. I play this, which is not good. It wants me to sack my bishop, which is, I should have seen that. I'm pretty sure that wins the rook, although he moves here. Hold on. Bang, bang. What does it want me to do? It wants me to take. Show follow up. Okay. Just check, check, check. Oh, that would be a draw. Okay, it wants me to do a draw. Because technically I am down a rook. Okay. It wants me to do a draw. You're not winning the rook. It's a draw. It's a draw via repetition. So when you repeat the same position 3 times, it's a draw. Queen here trying to trade. I obviously do not want to trade. And so I go here, which puts a target on c8. Once again, I'm threatening a rook here. Pins. He attacks my queen, so I move it back in the same diagonal. So now the threat of rook there is still viable. But now black is winning. It's +3. Oops, +3 for black. Oh yeah. So at this point in the game, the guy that I'm playing with, this dude, there's a chat. When you play a game on chess.com, there is a chat on the side, and people can say things to you while you're playing a game of chess. Now, in a real life tournament, this is not really that viable because most players are quiet and you just play chess quietly usually. But on chess.com, sometimes people like to talk crap about you, and because their ego is really big. Chess players' egos are really big, just like most, uh, you know, athletes, sport athletes. But obviously, chess is not a sport, although some people say that it is. Anyway, um, goes in the chat and he starts saying, uh, you know, I win, good luck, thank you, things like that. And but I don't say anything back, and I just focus on the game. And I end up winning, so that is really satisfying. And I just wish that people didn't do that because it just makes it's not really classy. Chess is supposed to be classy, kind of like tennis in a way, and it's just nasty when people do that. But yeah, to continue the analysis, I do this check, which is not supposed to be winning, but he makes a mistake here, and this is where everything falls apart for him. Because instead of just blocking with the queen, or even going back with his rook, what he does is move the king, which is completely losing now. As you can see, the bar just went back to white winning because now I can just take this rook for free. Okay, now I'm going to go a little bit faster because now this is just winning for me, and if you're familiar with chess, you should know why, because now I'm just up a piece. So I'm not going to do that much more analysis. Let's just see how the rest of the game goes, and if there's something to point out, I'll mention it. If I analyze every move, then it would be a really long video, and considering no one watches my channel yet, I don't want to edit for too long. So we trade stuff, and I'm trying to get rid of his pawns that tempt him to trade. Now defend the pawn. Now I'm trying to trade, which he just takes it. So now this is completely winning. Up 2 pieces, he only has pawns, and now the only problem is I'm down time. So I try and get my king involved because I prefer to have extra control of the squares as I try and promote a pawn. And I spend too much time here maneuvering stuff. I should have just pushed the pawn way faster, so I promote to a queen. And now you just do a typical queen and rook checkmate, where you bring the king all the way up to the row, the final uh, row, the 8th rank in this case, and then you perform a basic checkmate with. So now instead of going here, I want to move the rook here and do a checkmate like this, and that way, once you give a check, the king can't move because these squares are all occupied and he's in check, so therefore it's checkmate. Alright, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Bye.